So just 6 more days until we get to play Biomutant. It almost feels like an eternity ago when we saw the first trailers, the first gameplay reveals, and I'm so excited for this game to come out in just a few more days. But in the meantime, we have an important announcement from the development team, of course, a brand new main quest for everybody. Do not spoil the game. It seems that some early copies have made their way into some people's hands, so you might be at risk a little bit if you're actively searching for them online. But I also want to go over some really important questions that have been answered and a ton more details on top ahead of Biomutant's launch. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. But starting things off right here with this announcement, do not spoil the game, which yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Of course, you will not encounter any spoilers here on this channel. Everything is going to be fresh, and I will keep you guys updated with the stuff that you need to know without actually going into any story spoilers or any other major spoilers and whatnot. But if you got your hands on an early copy of Biomutant, that's awesome. Just don't upload any footage before everyone has had the chance to play it. And yes, I totally agree with that. No spoilers. I kind of got a few spoilers here and there with other games. It sucks. So yeah, I hope that everybody's gonna stay safe out there against these. But we know that everyone has been waiting for this game to launch since 2017. So have we, and that's why we'd like to ask you to not spoil the experience for anyone in these last days before the release. If you manage to get your hands on an early copy of Biomutant, that's awesome. Just please don't stream or upload any gameplay footage before May 25th. If you are a content creator that works with us, please respect what your contact person has discussed with you. Everybody streaming before that will be fed to the world leaders. End of the message right here. And yeah, you definitely don't want to mess with the world leaders. There's one of them with 3 heads, by the way, so you definitely don't want to head over and mess with that one. So yeah, this is the message right here. Now this seems that some people got early copies of the game. Some people might have, you know, leaked a few things online or are about to do that. So this is just preemptively over there. I haven't seen any leaks so far, so I'm not even sure if any exist at the time of making this video, but you know, it's probably gonna happen in the next few days. Like definitely, I've seen some embargoes being already broken by some retailers worldwide, and I kind of have a few ideas who that is. But yeah, let's move on to some of the FAQs right here. A brand new answers and questions has been updated right here on the main page on the THQ Nordic website. So yeah, you get the general idea of when the game is going to get its release. So on May 25th, here are the release date times. So on the PlayStation 4 and yeah, pretty much PlayStation 5 as well, I would assume, is going to be 4 p.m. Central European Standard Time, I believe this is. So 4 p.m. CEST. On the Xbox One is going to be pretty much the same, so both the consoles go around the same time. Steam is getting it a little bit later at 7 p.m, so 3 hours later, and then Epic Games and GOG at around the same time. So essentially, consoles get it earlier, PC gets it like 3 hours later, if you don't mind that. Now, we already know that the game is launching on PCs, on consoles. It even comes to Xbox, I mean GeForce Now, by the way, so you can totally play this with that subscription service if you don't have a good PC to play it, or if you're just like away for a few days or maybe a few weeks. But they are totally open up to maybe even port this to the Nintendo Switch or Google Stadia, though right now that's not going to be the case. So will we see the game on any other platforms like Nintendo Switch or Google Stadia is one of the questions, and yeah, the answer is only time will tell. For now, we are pinpoint focused on executing an awesome release on May 25th, 2021. So this means they are not completely ruling off Nintendo off the table. I really want to see that on Nintendo Switch, by the way. This would be a perfect game for that. Now, otherwise, here is what you need to know. Now, Xbox Game Pass, you unfortunately cannot get Biomutant on the Xbox Game Pass at the current time, so you will have to either pay the full price or maybe get it at a promotion. Also, who gets the Merc loadout as a pre-order incentive is another one of these questions. We kind of know the answer. So the Mercenary will be included in all digital pre-orders, as well as all physical super SKUs of Biomutant, no matter if pre-order or actual sale. There will be a little leaflet with the codes on it. It's basically a separate DLC. You can even buy it as a separate DLC in case you didn't get it, and then you can activate it on Steam, so it is going to be a separate loadout from what I hear. Will we be able to buy Merc after release? Of course, as I've said, comes out of DLC, so obviously you can. Will the game get a demo? Well, with an open world game, it is quite tricky to limit what you can access via a demo, hence we opted against it, which makes sense. I was thinking about Outriders for a second, but yeah, that's not open world, so that was easier to kind of limit to just the two maps. But in this case, Biomutant open world, easy to traverse, probably not such a good idea. But totally let me know down below what is your opinion on all of that. Now, interestingly enough, they included the embargo, the review embargo for, well, reviewers, including yours truly. So it seems that it's going to be 25th of May, 5 p.m. CST. So yeah, look forward to the 25th of May at 5 p.m. CST. That's when I will also drop my own review. But is Biomutant fully streamable without risks of DMCA? While the music of Biomutant can be freely used by content creators in the context of videos related to Biomutant. For example, streams, review videos, playthroughs, and for more information they have the video policy right here. I believe guides, maybe tips and tricks would fit there too, but I'm using my own music anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now, there are a few other interesting things you should know. Will there be modding tools supported for the game at some point in the future? And unfortunately the answer right now is no, not from the current point of view at the very least, and they don't say anything more on top. Another thing is Biomutant native to the current generation of consoles, so PlayStation 5 and Series S and X? Well, yes, but on May 25th only PC, PS4 and Xbox One versions will be released. We will provide more info in due time. So yeah, this sounds as if this is going to be maybe a separate update. They will likely update the game to the next generation of consoles, pretty much like any other game out there, and eventually it will drop for the next gen, or well, the new gen, and you will probably get some really nice improved graphics over there. But if you're on the PC, it's probably not gonna matter for you too much. Now, there are a few technical aspects and gameplay aspects that I want to talk about because they were also addressed. So many of you asked if motion blur and depth of field can be taken down, or at least, you know, tuned down. Well, it seems that depth of field can be toggled in the settings under camera, but motion blur unfortunately cannot. Not really sure why, maybe in the future, but so far it seems that that's not possible. You can also have multiple options for the narrator in case you want to turn it off. As a matter of fact, there are multiple options as a matter of fact that will let you scale this up or down and even completely turn it off if that is what you want to. Now, there are some other smaller questions over here that I will quickly go over, including that aspect of the multiplayer. No, there's not going to be any multiplayer in Biomutant. Biomutant is a single player experience. Another really important detail is about the classes and how these work, and they even gave in a few details about the class specific perks. So classes provide an additional equipment loadout to start with. Each class has 5 exclusive class specific perks. These are on top of all of the perks that we've seen so far with the biohazard abilities and the psi powers. So these are just on their own, and then we also have the weapons, but only 5 exclusive class specific perks. The mercenary perks are a mix of different classes perks, as is mentioned right here. The Psi Freak additionally has the Spark Ball mutation unlocked from the beginning, which is an exclusive ability that the class has. A Sparky from the Fury Sizzle Ball, it seems, is the description right here. Will breeds affect the game or story? So the story no, but the gameplay only in the beginning because of the marginal changes in base stats specific to each breed. We already talked about this in previous videos, that if you want to min-max stuff, it's going to count a little bit over there, but eventually you're going to be able to unlock pretty much everything. On the subject of loot, will it be random? And the answer is yes, loot in the game is going to be random. Will the HUD be customizable? Yes, HUD size, map markers, damage numbers, comic book effects, subtitle size, colors and background and more can all be customizable. And the total map size, as we've talked about in yesterday's video, is going to be 8 kilometers by 8, so 64 square kilometers, which is about 24 to 25 square miles in total. Again, around the size of like Oblivion / Red Dead Redemption 2. It's gonna be bigger than, for example, Zelda Breath of the Wild, if that's what you're wondering, but like a little bit bigger, not too much. Post-campaign, endgame, and New Game Plus content. Yes, New Game Plus will be a thing, baby. So New Game Plus 100% confirmed, though I think we had an idea that this would be in the game. So you essentially start at the foot of the Tree of Life, skipping the entire tutorial in the New Game Plus, including the childhood village. From there you can join any tribe and re-experience the story. If you remember this from PewDiePie's stream, you can start with a Jangi tribe or the Myriad tribe at the very beginning, but if you do a New Game Plus, then it opens up and you can join any of the remaining, 6 tribes in the game. In New Game Plus, you get to keep the following: your equipment and the character stats. Post-campaign and end game, after completing the main quest, there are also a bazillion side quest areas and characters to discover, and thank you Lord that there are a ton of secrets to discover here in this game. Is the story non-linear, meaning that am I able to go ahead and do my own thing? So you can do whatever you want. Some areas need some prerequisite though in order for you to survive, be able to traverse. Like for example, those resistances might be some of them, but maybe there are a lot more. How open is the world? As open as it can be, but beware of the surf is what they are saying right here. So yeah, you're probably gonna want to stay clear of that. Will the game world feature a central hub where players can receive missions, walk around and interact with the world, or will it be a menu-based experience? So things are being done a little differently in Biomutant. There is a huge quest pool from which events / quests etc. are drawn when you enter a region of the game world, is what they mention right here. So you will likely have to interact maybe with NPCs, or maybe find these certain areas and just get those quests like that, or maybe continue other quests so that you open up other chains, I believe. Will there be achievements? Yes, we already know that. We even have them leaked for at least a week or so at this point. Photo mode is also going to be in the game. We kind of saw a few glimpses of this. Looks really awesome. And the final bits that I will cover right here will be about the difficulty settings. There's an easy, a medium, and a hard setting. Enemies, defenses, and offensives scale with selected difficulty levels, obviously, so that sounds pretty interesting if you want to go with higher challenges. But the length of the game is also pretty much here as well. So if you do not end a specific event, which we don't want to spoil early, we are roughly looking at around 25 hours for the main quest, and for 100% completion is going to be more than 50 hours. So that's if you want to go for the side quest to get the interesting stuff, the cool unlocks, and the other stuff in there as well. Will the game have a transmog system or change of clothes? No, but equipment can be upgraded to keep the awesome looking gear while also raising the stats to some extent, as there's gonna be a cap on that, as we saw from some of the trailers and reveals. And that is pretty much it with the info blowout. A ton of stuff in here ahead of the game's release. Cannot be more excited for the game. Looks really awesome, decently lengthy. So this is it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.